Greetings, everyone. Thanks again, once again, for tuning in to Porch Talk. Denise has joined me once again.
Hey, again.
We're back for another time and a good discussion. So, unfortunately, a little boy has shot himself in Florida. Again, this topic has came from the Shade Room. A 7th grader at Jackson Memorial Middle School reportedly shot himself early Tuesday morning. As a result, multiple other schools in the Jackson local school district were put on lockdown. The boy shot himself in the restroom around 7:05 a.m. and was later taken to a local hospital. His condition is unknown, as well as the details of whether the self-inflicted shooting was intentional or not. So at this point, we don't know if the young man did it by accident or he did it on purpose. But here's my question. How did the gun get into the school? And to take it a step further, should we be putting metal detectors in all of these schools now? Because here's the thing, I understand that when you see metal detectors, to most people it sends an alarm in their mind, oh, I'm in a bad neighborhood, this is a bad area, and I get that. But this is not about what things look like at this point, it's about safety. It's been so many shootings in schools now. And at what point do we just say we have to lock down on security? Do our kids matter? Is the nation saying we're more worried about what things look like instead of safety? What is the issue here? I mean, because it might be uncomfortable for you to look at, but please believe you'd rather look at that than to get a phone call. Right.
Caskets are more uncomfortable to look at.
Right.
So, yeah, no, that's ridiculous for someone to say, well, you know, guess what? The times have changed. The times that we're living in have changed. You can either accept it or not. Either way it goes, it has changed and it's going to continue to change. And you can either plan accordingly, protect yourself, or make decisions according to the knowledge you've been given, or not, and suffer. So absolutely, obviously we have a problem with gun control or gun distribution or kids getting their hands on guns or just whether it's irresponsible parents or whatever. Okay, whatever the problem is. So if the parents are outside of school or whoever, we have a lack of control. We have to have some control inside the school. So there needs to be metal detectors. Absolutely. I'm sorry, it sucks. I don't like it. It makes it uncomfortable. It's a sad thing to think about. But what's more sad or sadder, oh no, our schools have metal detectors, or no, Johnny, Mike, Keith, Sean, all of them are dead just because you don't want to accept the times that we're living in right now. And if you don't want metal detectors, I remember in school, we had sometimes the little scanners with the stick with the doo-doo-doo, they do it at the courthouse. If you're in a certain neighborhood and you want to keep your values and everything, look, you're really into perception and photos and whatever. We have a responsibility as adults to protect these children. If we're not willing to take the steps and get a metal detectors or get the little scanny thing or whatever, then we're really throwing these kids to the wolves. And then on that end, it becomes our fault. If we fail to protect them when they can't protect themselves, we're the problem.
Yes, I think we've gotten far beyond. I know people like to, if we don't talk about it, if we don't think about it, if we don't look at it, then it doesn't exist. We're past the point of let's just pray over our babies, put some oil on their head and send them on their way.
Way past it.
Because this is where the faith without works thing comes in. Because I know, and the reason I'm saying this because there's somebody who's going to see this video and well, that's because you ain't praying over your kid, or that's because school prayer isn't at school, and that's because whatever. It's because we are not living in reality and we're not taking the necessary steps to protect these children. I know me personally in the county I live in, we pay way too many taxes to get a phone call and be planning funerals. Period. There's no excuse. It's too many dollars going in a lot of these school districts. And I know this is just not happening in Michigan. I'm sure these things are not isolated to Michigan. It's too many resources going around in people's pockets and with their shenanigans instead of being focused into where we really need them. And that's just how I feel about it.
But then again, regardless of the resources, now I get it, in your county, I get it, yeah, that's a lot of taxes, and I agree. But even if you didn't have to pay those taxes, the government or whatever says these babies have to go to school at this age, this time. Now, since you're putting this mandate, we have to, I have to do it.
And you have to have shots.
Absolutely.
Vaccinations. You have to have
now
it.
you putting all these rules and saying, I gotta do this, I gotta do this or that, or I'm going to jail, you're gonna take my kids away from me. Guess what? You have to, I don't care if I pay $1 in taxes every 6 years. You have to protect my babies. If you're saying they have to come to this building or one of these buildings, you better have to, or we're gonna have a serious problem, protect my babies while they're in this environment. Now, things will happen and everybody can't be all eyes and everything at once, but if something happens because you failed to implement certain things because you were afraid how it would look, you wanted to give the perception this is a prestigious school, we don't this, that, and the other, we're gonna have a serious problem. Because if you're going to make me bring my baby here, you better fix it. You better make my baby safe. That's it. Because it never becomes a problem until it's somebody in control when it's their kid.
Right.
The principal's kid or the school district, whoever's kid or Donald Trump's kid or whoever's kid. Right. Then it becomes a problem. But when it's our kids and John, Sally, and Sue, their kids, it's not really a big deal. But it really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just natural selection, or people gotta die. People die every day. That's all ignorant as hell. And we really could do better, and you're absolutely right. Citizens shouldn't be the only ones held to a standard and held accountable for the actions. These governments should be as well, period. I think it's time out. It's just like your parent trying to parent you, and how well does do what I say, not as I do work? It doesn't work that well. So for the government to tell me I need to do things and I need to be a certain way, or these are the consequences, they should be held to a standard too. These school districts are, not just, we're not talking about just the Trump administration. This goes down onto local governments as well, even down to your school districts.
Because look, here's a contrast. Remember when 9/11 happened? The next day we was taking off shoes. We couldn't bring more than 1 ounce of Aquafina on the plane.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They orchestrated to be able to strip our laws away anyway. That's why that worked like that.
But, say that again. You said it went on my head. Sorry, say it again. You said
this is something they created, a 9/11 situation, and they put a face to it and called it what was his name?
Bin Laden.
Bin Laden. There you go. See, it's such a lie. I forgot his damn name. They called it Bin Laden, okay, and they killed him or whatever, and they even killed Saddam Hussein. I don't even know what the hell he had.
Oh, you're not gonna go there. He was in a whole different. What? Like, he wasn't even there. He wasn't even. It was Afghanistan, Iran. He was like, I forget, because I refuse to. It's too much. He was in a whole different area, and then like it just.
I'm gonna tell y'all, and not to get too far.
I'm sorry, I digress.
But when the whole 9/11 thing occurred, and I was in high school at the time, I'm watching this, and I said, ain't no way in hell, if a plane goes through this building like this, the building is imploding as if they put dynamite in it. So, I mean, it's just something to think about. And
from a science perspective,
anybody,
if you know this is not a conspiracy theory, just research how to get an explosion versus an implosion. I did that because of what people were saying, and I was like, okay, well, let me just see. And it doesn't line up with how to get an implosion versus how you get an explosion versus what happens when you to everything above, up and above, when something like that, like seriously, but just look it up.
Right. So they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do to push their agenda.
Right. But the point is, regardless if they push the agenda, it was made clear. Oh my gosh, this is a major situation. This has happened. We have to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And what they did, they did the actions behind it. They did everything they had to protect. Or what they thought that would protect us. Taking off your shoes, this, that, airport times going to 4 hours. But it's been, how many shootings has it been? And nothing has been done. And it's been like mass shootings. This is a big deal. Mass shootings. Not like 1 or 2 people, somebody got shot. No, 22, 17, 14 babies. These are babies that are getting shot with like AK whatevers and AR-15s. Yeah, assault rifles by other babies.
What does a regular motherfucker need with assault rifle?
You don't.
Anyway?
You don't.
You don't even need that. And it's just like, what are we doing? What?
And they still have failed to take it seriously. They don't take it seriously. It's a problem. It's a problem because it's a distinct difference between a major occurrence in 9/11 versus all these babies getting killed.
It is. I mean, you have to damn near get so naked Folks need to throw dollars at you at the damn airport. This shit is ridiculous. I
done got comfortable.
Right,
I done got comfortable. You number one, getting half naked, going. I don't care. No, I don't want to go in the room. It's gonna take too much time. Let me just take it off right here. No, it's not a problem. And I done got comfortable, which is disgusting. Walking around in my bare feet. I purposely go to the airport in flip flops. Purposely in flip flops, so I don't have a problem. And I've gotten comfortable walking on the bare, dirty ground on my feet when just my bare feet. Because I'm so used to this, and they're like, well, ma'am, we gotta pull you to the side. Let's get a female. No, let's just get this over with.
Right.
I've gotten so comfortable, and that shouldn't. Right. I can't miss this flight. I don't want to wait. I don't want no problems. I ain't gonna have no room in luggage and baggage when I get to the plane after y'all hold the plane. I ain't got time for this. Just come on, John. Let's do the search right quick. Bing, bang, boom, and keep it pushing. And that should not be the case. I should not be comfortable stripping down in front of a million people that I've never seen before. Don't care if it's men, women, if you're 500 years old versus you're 14 and a pedophile. I shouldn't feel comfortable completely bearing all of my soul to anybody and their mama just so I can get on this plane right quick so I can get extra space in the baggage, overhead baggage. That's ridiculous.
And why are you feeling in my hair? Why they got a feel in your hair though? Can you take your hair? What the hell you mean take my hair?
Girl, they asked me one time. I had a little wig. It was cute. They got this. Yeah. He gonna ask me. Another woman asked me. She said, "Is this tied?" No, the man asked me first. He was like, "Is this tied down? Does this come off?" I looked at him like, excuse me. I snapped out of it then. I will not take this wig off in front of all these people. You will not do this. And I guess he let me go because look, I gave him. I didn't say shit, but excuse me. I didn't say anything, but I looked. I didn't say that word. But I looked at him like if looks could kill. I was about to dice him all the way up. We ain't need no weapon search. I was like, you think you making me take, boy?
Not my wig, child.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's that bad when people are, putting razors in their shoes and powdering envelopes in the mail and 18-year-olds can get assault rifles. I guess you can't cut corners. It makes sense because the second they cut the corner and I get on the plane, I just so happen to have a blade, which for the life of me, I can't understand how you could take down a whole plane with a blade, but it's okay. And I just happen to have that blade in my wig, then they gon', you get what I'm saying? Then it's gonna be a problem. But just like the handicapped lady, remember this was like last year, they found she had so many things of cocaine in her wheelchair, and she had been getting by. She was like 89, and she was drug smuggling and had been doing it for a while. And just so randomly, it was a random dog sniffer or whatever, and they just so happened to catch her. But she had been doing this for a while. She had like bricks and bricks and bricks in a wheelchair. So, and then we look at it like, oh, don't check that old lady. Maybe we should check the old lady. People is savage. They savage.
You know what? I was about to say something very ridiculous, but I'm not.
Oh, say it. What is it? What's the ridiculousness? Maybe that's the problem. And we sugarcoat stuff and we don't say stuff when it needs to be said. So we gotta tiptoe
honey,
around.
Because it's shade. It's ignorant as hell. So, all right, y'all. Thanks again once again for tuning in. Check you next time. Bye. Make sure you choose Rocky Road Productions LLC Porch Talk to feed your entertainment needs. And you can do that by following us on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you like this video and share it with all your family and friends. Tag somebody in it, why don't you? And don't forget to comment down below and let us know how you feel. And before you leave, make sure you subscribe. That's right. You'll catch us every week. Looking forward to see you again next time. Bye.